Whitney. So, today is gonna be a popcorn chat video on Jurassic Park, especially for its 30th anniversary. And I know that it passed its 30th anniversary because it was released on June 11th, 1993, but I'm still gonna do a video on Jurassic Park no matter um, no matter how long ago it's been since June 11th. So yeah, and I'm gonna do it to celebrate in honor of its 30th anniversary. So yeah, so you know, as I mentioned before, that Jurassic Park is just a really great movie, directed by Steven Spielberg, and I just, as you all know, for those who have been here or even new here, and for those who probably know, is that I I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan. I love it, and and I will be doing a story time on it, back in time watches video on it, of sharing the first time that I've seen it, although we'll just have to wait on that because that will be coming up soon, but when, I don't know, but it'll be a surprise. And yeah, so I can't wait to share that with you. But we're just going to discuss Jurassic Park. So now, of course, between the novel and the movie itself is so very different, and I know so far with the book, I've only read a little bit. I haven't really read the whole book yet. I mean, I do have it, but I just gotta find it. It's somewhere around here. But, and of course, I have heard that the book itself is just very dark and graphic, and they're gruesome too. But now, considering the book is dark, graphic, and gruesome, um, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure when the movie was gonna be made, I'm pretty sure it was gonna go in that direction, but Steven Spielberg, made some changes, and he wanted to make the movie more where it's not as dark and it's not gory or graphic at all, and he wanted to make it where anyone can watch it, kids, and for kids and adults, so that I understand. So, and honestly, I'm actually very glad of how it turned out because I feel like Steven Spielberg was the perfect choice for Jurassic Park, because I can't imagine anyone else directing a movie, and I think if it had been someone else, maybe it would have gone in that direction. Maybe, who knows? It probably would have turned out maybe much darker than the book. It probably would have turned out maybe more gruesome, and I know maybe. I mean, I'm not sure how that would have done. I'm not sure, but I'm just saying it could have been that way, but was maybe with a different director, possibly. But I'm just very glad of how it turned out, the way Steven Spielberg directed it, and yeah, he is a really great director, and I have seen his other films that he has directed, and I enjoy those. And another favorite movie I have directed by Steven Spielberg, and that's Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I just love that one. I grew up with that, just watching it over and over, just like Jurassic Park. And so, yeah, love that, just like I love Jurassic Park as well. So yeah, I'm just glad that Steven Spielberg was the one who directed the movie, because I think it still turned out great, even if it didn't turn out the way how it was in the book. But I'm just glad it did turn out different. I'm really glad, and and of course, with the cast is perfect, because you get the late Richard Attenborough as John Hammond. Now, from what I've heard, that John Hammond is actually this horrible villain in the book, but they made him into a good guy in the movies. I'm actually glad it turned out that way. And then we get Laura Dern as Ellie Sattler, and uh, Sam Neill as Alan Grant, and Jeff Goldblum as in Malcolm, was just all just perfect casting choices for each of them of those characters of their roles, and they did so well that it just really made the movie. It just really made the characters come alive. And then with the dinosaurs designed by Stan Winston, he did an amazing job to have, and everyone else who even worked on the dinosaurs, to design them, of how they looked, even the little details on them, like of the skin and everything. Like, it's just amazing. And even like the colors they used for the dinosaurs is also really great. And Stan Winston, of how he designed these dinosaurs, of how they should look, and how the way he designed them, and how everyone else working on like the, what do you call it? Excuse me. When they were working on the, what do you call it? Like, it's this thing where you are, the designing of the dinosaurs. But yeah, the way they did it is just amazing. Like, it looks so real. I don't know if they still have those, but I wish they did, only because I would just love to see those Jurassic Park dinosaur animatronics in person. I really would. And actually, I had a dream about that not too long ago. I had a dream where I was on the set of Jurassic Park, and I was seeing I was seeing all the dinosaur animatronics around me, the Triceratops, the Dilophosaurus, the Velociraptor, and the T-Rex. Like, oh my gosh, like, the T-Rex animatronic was so huge in person, but, in a good way. And I remember just being completely amazed and just like blown away, and the way, seeing how they work on it, like with the controls, the controllers to move them and everything, like moving the head and opening the mouth, like. And I remember even actually hearing the roar when the T-Rex opened its mouth, and it was just amazing. Like, I was in awe, and I was just completely blown away. I'm just mesmerized by it. So if you want to check out that dream, I'll leave it right here up in the iCard for you to check that out, because I explained a little bit more of that dream. So yeah, they did an amazing job, and I just loved how each dinosaur looks too. From the first dinosaur, we get to see the Brachiosaurus, then the Triceratops, and then of course the cute baby Velociraptor, which of course I would say it is adorable. It is. And then of course, then we get to see the Dilophosaurus, and then the Tyrannosaurus Rex, which amazing. Like, it's just so, I don't know, the way she looks, it's not just amazing, but also just very, like, just wow, just very magnificent. Like, that's just the best way to put it. And I just love the way she looks. Like, it's just looks so real, but at the same time, like, she has this very unique, scary, appealing look to her as a T-Rex, and I just love the way she was designed by Stan Winston. And also we get to see the Velociraptors. Now, from what I know, is that in real life the Velociraptors were very small. I'm not sure how small, I can't really show you, but they were small. But I think there was there was a raptor I think they've heard of, and I think I think that one was a bit taller, so I think somehow they made a Velociraptor to make it look more intimidating. And then from what I've heard is that I think in the book the Dilophosaurus was actually really tall. So in the movie, they did not make the Dilophosaurus like as tall as the Velociraptor that they did in the movie, but they made it just a little bit smaller. So, that's what they did. But so each dinosaur looks realistic, they look great, and they just have their own unique, fascinating look to them. And I just believe dinosaurs in general are very fascinating, but I also find dreams and movies very fascinating itself, because they're all unique and fascinating in their own way. So I just love everything about it. I love everything about dinosaurs, movies, and dreams. You can't go wrong with those. And so yeah, I just love that. So the credit also goes to the makeup designers of the dinosaurs. And even the sound effects, like even the animal sounds that they used for each dinosaur, like for the Brachiosaurus, Triceratops, even the Dilophosaurus, the Velociraptor, and the T-Rex, each one has a mix of animal sounds together, which sounds like this, that probably would sound like a dinosaur sound, and that's amazing. Like, okay, you know, with the Dilophosaurus, with those things that come out, like, it's not fins, because it's not a fish. What do you call it? A fan? I don't know what those things are, but it comes out and it like shakes, kind of like a maraca. So when it starts shaking, that's the sound of a rattlesnake. And then with the sounds you hear of the Velociraptor, I've heard that's actually a sound of a dolphin underwater. That's amazing, especially with that you know how you hear that high pitch sound that you hear from the Velociraptor? I'm not gonna demonstrate it. It's just gonna come out silly. But that is the sound of a dolphin underwater. How crazy is that? And and then with the T-Rex, when it roars, it's a mix of an elephant and some other animal. I think a tiger roar or a lion roar. something like that. But the mix of those two animals just turned out to be this very strong, powerful uh, T-Rex roar, and it just was like, it's just amazing. And even when I still hear it, I'm like, wow. And I don't know, it just makes me smile because I just love the T-Rex. And not only I love the way she was designed and how she looks in Jurassic Park, but I just love how her roar sounds like very strong, like a very strong, powerful roar, and just everything, even the colors they used on her, like, yeah, I can't help it. So yeah, that really stands out. That really brought the dinosaurs to life, especially with the dinosaur animatronics and the CGI. So it just blends in perfectly, like a really nice smoothie in a way. And yeah, as I said, the cast is just perfect. I love everyone who did the performances, and each one was perfect for their roles of these characters, and I can't picture anyone else to have played these characters other than the cast of those that we see of who portray those characters. So I can't picture it in any other way. And with the music composed by John Williams, like he is a really great music composer. He has composed music scores, for a lot of movies, especially Steven Spielberg, especially like the theme of Jaws, even Indiana Jones. Oh, perfect. Even Jurassic Park itself, it has this very... I feel like when he composed the music for Jurassic Park, it was just so iconic, which it still is, but it's also very... it stands out on its own, and it just says, and you get this feel. You get this feel to it where it feels, where it says Jurassic Park, and it really stands out on its own, and it's just great. It's this really amazing music score that blends in with the movie, and it just brings the movie to life to every part of the movie itself, with the characters, with the dinosaurs and the story, just everything. It's just, and as I mentioned before, that movies and music, like when it comes to the performances, telling the story, bringing the characters to life, there has to be music, because without music, it's like having a cake without the frosting. So you're having a completely naked cake with no frosting. So it's like that, but with the performances and bringing the story to life with the music, and everything else just blends in so well together, that it's like having this really great cake with this great flavor of frosting, and that's just the best way to put it. So yeah, I just love the music score. He did it so perfectly, in my opinion, because I can't imagine anyone else to have composed the score for Jurassic Park other than John Williams, because he did an amazing job. So I just love it, and I love it when I hear it, and when I do hear it, also, I feel like it's one of those things where it catches my attention, where I'm like, then I, pretty much I would run to the room to see where it's coming from. And it's just one of those things where I hear it and all of a sudden I'm like, and I just get so excited when I hear it, kind of like Christmas music. Because I get the same way when I hear Christmas songs, like especially when I hear certain particular, like my favorite Christmas songs, all of a sudden it just catches my attention. I stop, and all of a sudden I get so excited, and just start to smile, and I'm just feeling so happy, feeling so excited. That's how I get with Christmas songs. The same way I get with Jurassic Park of the music score. Definitely. That's the best way to describe it. That's how I get. And the story itself, I'm just glad, as I said, I'm glad that it turned out differently than the book, because I'm glad we didn't saw anything that was too dark, too gruesome, because then it would have been rated R. And from what I've heard is that Wayne Knight wanted his character's death to be very gruesome, especially because he said that because of what he was doing, he felt that his character's death, he felt his character deserved a very brutal, gruesome death. Now, on one hand, I do agree that his character deserved that, but I don't think it should have shown that on screen. But that's what he wanted. He wanted his character to show exactly how his character would die, and that would be this very brutal, gruesome death. But of course, they did not do that. Because, I think to have seen that, it probably would have traumatized kids. And it would have been too much to see, and believe me, I would have hated to see that. I would have hated to see that if, as a young child. I would have been like, I know my mom would be telling me, I know would tell me at the time, like, Brittany, don't look, and then I would just cover my eyes. So, yeah, I would have hated that. But I think I pretty much covered everything here of the story, the cast, their performances, and the designs on the dinosaurs to the music score. So I feel like I pretty much said everything, but nonetheless, I feel like I could still talk about Jurassic Park, because I love everything about it. I really do. And it's just my favorite. I grew up with it. And but yes, as I said, I will be doing a story time on looking back when I first watched it, so I will be doing that soon, but I don't know when that will be, but I'll let you know, and it'll be a surprise when I do upload it. So yeah, you'll get to know. So yeah, regardless, since I've covered everything, I just want to say that overall, I love everything about Jurassic Park, except the story and pretty much everything else that I've mentioned so far, and just everything else, especially certain parts that I like, especially the ending, because I think the way it ended was perfect, because just when they seemed like they were trapped up from one velociraptor on this side with the other velociraptor on the other end, it seemed like there was no way out until the T-Rex comes along and she gets her jaw, grabs the velociraptor, and just, she's like shaking it, and she pretty much, kills it. And so when she comes in, and then the other velociraptor gets like mad and jumps on the T-Rex. So just when that happened, they had time to escape, and then just as they drove off to get on the helicopter, as we can see, as as they drove off, then we get back to the scene of the T-Rex, and she kills the other Velociraptor, throws it at the skeleton of dinosaur bones. Well, it's the same thing. Look, she throws it at the, dinosaur skeleton, and what I love about this is that she turns around and her tail moves this way, like very swiftly, and then her head's like leaned down, and then her head leans up, and as she whirs, then the banner where it says "When dinosaurs roll the earth" comes down as she's whirring, and it's just perfect. And the way she whirs too is just amazing. I love her war, and I love the way it ended like that, with her being like the hero, like the heroine of how Jurassic Park ended, where they had time to escape. So I just love that. It was just, again, perfect. And with, like I said, to end it like that, it was just very amazing. It was just wow. Like, I love it. I really do. So that's pretty much all I have to say. I pretty much covered everything, but I just also want to say how much I love the way it ended like that. Like, it was just amazing. So, hope you enjoyed this, and to see more movie content of reviews, movie discussions, reactions, and dreams on movies, subscribe, click on the bell to be notified when I upload, and leave a comment down below if you've seen Jurassic Park, and what's your favorite part of the movie, and are you a fan of Jurassic Park? So I hope you enjoyed this. That's all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.